I'm gonna move y'all closer. And I know that y'all can't see the board. I'm aware, everybody. Okay, so we got all of our classmates in. We all here? Yes. Okay, so Queen is in session. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. We chopped it up for all those who are latecomers, waiting until the last bell is rung before we decide to attend and get in our seats so we can get the knowledge that we're going to get today. So, anywho, thank y'all for coming. It is Friday. We done made it to Friday. It's always a beautiful thing each day that we wake, so don't get that twisted. You better be getting down on your hands and knees and saying thank you for waking me up to see another glorious day, because a lot of our fallen soldiers did not get the opportunity to do so. So, with that being said, that's how we start our day off, and then we just go from there. We don't sit over here and surround ourselves with negativity. So, today is a lot. We gotta get into it. I know y'all is here for probably a short time, but I'm here for a long time. And so with that, we gotta get into Gideon. Stories of Gideon. That is what we're talking about in today's session with the Queen. And that is in your Holy Bible, Judges chapter 6, verses 12. If you want to go ahead and whip out your textbooks, as you should be already, having these things when we come into class. Anyway, students, I want y'all to get that out. You should also have your journal in case you want to take some notes. Y'all need to see that little sticky right there. But, whip out your journals. I want y'all to be able to jot down a couple of things that the Queen might speak that resonates with your heart. It might be, very inspirational, something you could take with you, something you can sit and ponder on later after we done had class and it's over, all right? And we just gonna not only use it just for notes that we take with us in today's session, but throughout life. Because really, when you write down, where did I write it at? Oh yeah, I wrote it right here. Ha ha. Look, I thought it, which means it was placed in me. Okay. Then I believed it, which means that's faith. Okay. I wrote it. I'm showing y'all now. I wrote it, right? That means I'm visualizing what it is that I'm saying. Okay. And then I spoke it. That's in agreement to what it is that I'm saying, that I've spoke, that I've wrote, I believed, and I thought. And then what I do with it, I do away with it. After I done all of that, I do away with it, because now I know that it's coming to me. It's an assurance that I know is coming to me. So with that, I receive it. That's the outcome. So that is the ingredients on how you go about, I guess you could call it manifesting. We could do that. That's how you go about manifesting. For me, the Queen, this is some of the ingredients that she does. Okay, again, I thought it, which means it was placed in my heart. If it's placed in your heart, it's got to be a reason why it's placed there. It wasn't just placed there for no reason. Nothing's by coincidence. It's not by pure chance. Just like us being in session today, it's not by pure accident. No. So with that being said, let me go ahead, and if I'm thinking it, let me go ahead and believe in what it is that I'm thinking. And let me go ahead and also write it out so I could see it. And then I'm going to speak it because it was in my mind. I wrote it. Now I need to actually verbalize the words that I'm saying. And then I'm going to do away with it because I know in my hearts of hearts that I'm going to receive whatever it is. Hey, it don't matter how big or how small. You want that light bill paid? You want something bigger and grander than that? I don't want only my light bill paid. Me personally, I don't want to have to pay for nothing. It ain't about living with somebody else, being nobody's roommate, being nobody's guest, being nobody's living on the couch from house to housemate. None of that shit. No, I want to live in my own, not having a bill to be worried about, not having rent, mortgage, none of that shit to be worried about. I financially want to be free. So with that, I don't want to have to even have the burden of worrying about a bill. You want a bill paid? Kudos to you. I don't even want to have to worry about bills at all. That's what I want to do. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and write down. It don't matter, again, how big or how small. Listen, the God that I serve is limitless. So take the limits off of him and go ahead and ask for what you believe you want to receive in this time that you're living. You only got one life to live, so they say, right? Because you're going to have afterlives, be reincarnated, all that other shit. So while you in this life right now, Go ahead and ask for everything that you want to receive. So let's get into it. Make sure we have our materials. Like I said, we have our journal, book cap, right? We got our pen so we can write it down. You know what I'm saying? All right. And now we're going to whip it out into the Bible. Again, I said we're going to work in Judges. I know y'all can't see it. That's why I'm here to say it for you, okay? So we're going to work in Judges chapter 6, verses 12 is where we're going to start. All right, look at me with my little highlighter already ready. Yeah, because I'm a teacher. Yeah, yeah, and I'll be ready. You know, when you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. And when you ain't got to get ready, that's why I stay easy going, breezy, and I deliver these gems for you so that you could do the same. It's about being a blessing to be a bigger blessing to other people. That's what you got to take with you. So here we go. Here we go. I don't care what your Bible look like, whether it be on your cell phone, because we could do that too. I don't know if it's going to be the same. So let's see. Holy Bible. Let's go to our Old Testament, Judges chapter 6, verse 12. Let's get it. All right. So it's no sense to me holding both, right? Right. So, but just so y'all know, I did highlight. But I'm going to go from here. And we just go. Listen, now I'm over here conflicted because I highlighted over there. So we'll just go work in between. Anywho, so Judges chapter 6, verses 12. And the angel of the Lord appeared unto him and said unto him, the Lord is with thee, thou mighty man of valor. And Gideon said unto him, talking about Gideon now, and Gideon said unto him, O my Lord, if the Lord be with us, why then is all of us befallen us? And where be all of his miracles which our fathers told us of, saying, did not the Lord bring us up from Egypt? But now the Lord hath forsaken us and delivered us into the hands of the Midianites. So, Gideon over here, like, all right. So you sitting over here basically saying you Jesus, you're the Lord. Okay. So then why did you do X, Y, and Z? As people of the flesh, we ask all the time, well, why is it if this happens to me, is God punishing me? Does he not like me? And all these other things we begin to question and stuff like that. So don't get it twisted. Everybody got a little bitty Gideon up in them. All right. So let me just look at what I highlighted. The Lord is with you, you mighty man of valor. All right. Oh my Lord, if the Lord is with us, why then has this happened to us? And where are all his miracles which our father told us about, saying, did not the Lord bring us up from Egypt? By now the Lord has forsaken us and delivered us unto the hands of the Midianites. So again, like I said, questioning, like all of us got a little bit of Gideon up in us and over here asking, well, why did this happen to us? Why did this person come into our lives if they were just going to do X, Y, and Z? Bop, bop, bop. All right, I'm going to go from here because I got it highlighted over here. So then the Lord turned to him and said, go in this might of yours, and you shall save Israel from the hand of the Midianites. Have I not sent you? So boom, he's like, hey, listen here. I'm going to go ahead and do you one bigger and better by your hand alone. I want you to defeat the Midianites, the ones that I sent you into, right? Now, don't get upset if I'm mispronouncing words. We cannot all be scholars like everyone, all right? Let's just keep it funky and get with the message, okay? Let's finish getting into it. All right. Then the Lord turned to him and said, go in this might of yours, and you shall save Israel from the hand of the Midianites. Have I not sent you? So he said to him, oh, my Lord, how can I save Israel? Indeed, my clan is the weakest in Manasseh, and I am the least in my father's house. So boom, like the rest of us feeling like, what? How you gonna ask me to go do something like that? That seems like something of a bigger person. You might not want me because my army ain't even that big to be sitting over here trying to defeat a whole Midianites. I'm assume, that that's a big crew. We just, a big crew that took over. It might be something like this Russia-Ukraine situation or whatever. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's tap into it. We just doing with the messages being delivered upon us, okay? So keep into it. All right. So, and the Lord said to him, surely I will be with you, and you shall defeat the Midianites as one man. So, boom. It don't matter how many people you got. You don't have to worry. He gonna be with you at all times. So he ain't nothing greater or bigger that can defeat him. Ain't not a battle he done lost. So why would you not want to be with the bigger boss? Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and listen to it. But Gideon, listen. You could lead a horse to water, but you cannot make it drink. We all know that. So it takes sometimes for us to be beaten, for us to get it, for us to feel it like, all right. You know what I'm saying? You done showed me a couple of times how you might be, who you say you are, but I still don't, 100% give all of that honor and glory and trust, faith to you, because I need you to show out for me some more before I truly believe it. Like, God, I need you to pay that bill for me again. Jesus, I need you to go ahead and work out that relationship that's not seeming to work out. Oh, Lord, please move me from these people around this area. I need you to do that for me before I truly, truly believe in what it is that you're asking me to do for you. All right, all you asking for me to do is to what? Defeat the Midianites as one man, one army, one man, one band. Yeah, one man, one song. Everybody tone along. All right. Then he said to him, if now I have found favor in you, your sight, then show me a sign that it is you who walk with me. Again, he asking him, show me his shoe. Show me his shoe that's walking with me, okay? Do not depart from here, I pray, until I come to you and bring out my offerings and set it before you. So if you saying who you saying you are, not only I want you to stay right there, because I got something I want to give you. I want to offer you something. So I don't need you to leave. I need you to stay right there because you said that you are who you said you are. And so for that, I want to do a favor because you doing me a favor. I want to, scratch your back, you scratch my back type of but keep funky. So boom. So here we go. So he say, just don't depart from here. Like he said, if now I have found favor in your sight. This is Gideon talking to Jesus. If now I have found favor in your sight, then show me a sign. Show me something. He still won't, but it don't matter. You sitting right here in this man's face and you still talking about show me a sign. All right, show me a sign that it is you who talks with me. Do not depart from here, I pray, until I come and I bring out my offering and set it before you. So cool. He said, go ahead. I sit right here. Jesus being Jesus. He keep himself occupied with his daggone self. He don't need a whole lot of folk. Like I don't need a whole lot of folk. Me and Jesus, we Capricorns, just so y'all know. We start y'all off and we end y'all, just so y'all know. Okay. It was beginning and end it. All right. Think about it, Capricorn. Think about Jesus. We real spiritual out here. Don't be sleeping on us. All right. Tap into it. So Gideon went, did what he got to do. Jesus sat there. He said, now we is in still chapter 6. Now go down to verse 20. This is Judges. You should be following along, class. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be like, excuse me, where exactly are we? We're right here in Judges chapter 6, verse 20, class. Okay? So let's keep it going. So the angel of God said to him, take the meat and the unleavened bread and lay them on this rock and pour out the broth. And he did so. So that's what Gideon ran off to get Jesus as his offering. He gave him some meat, unleavened bread, and and some broth. Okay. So Jesus said to him, because you want to question me again, ask me to show you a sign that it's me. I want you to take that offering that you given to me. I want you to lay it on this hot rock. Okay. On this rock and pour out the broth. Let me reread it. The angel of God said to him, take the meat and the unleavened bread and lay them on this rock and pour out the broth. And he did so. And then the angel of the Lord put out the end of the staff that was in his hand and touched the meat and the unleavened bread. Okay, his staff, Jesus' staff, and the meat, the bop bop bop. Okay, bop bop. And the angel of the Lord departed out of sight. But guess what had happened? The fire had rose from that rock all of a sudden. Before Jesus left, that unleavened bread and that staff that Jesus had touched, or the unleavened bread and the meat that Jesus touched with his staff that was laying on that rock, rose some fire, and it consumed the meat and the unleavened bread. And then Jesus was out. He bounced, chucked up the deuces. He was out. He was like, look, that's a sign right there. I'm going to take what you offer me and I'm going to make it disappear. Like I consumed it. I sent what you gave me and I gave it back to Mother of the Earth, and there I disappeared. Chuck up the deuces. I'll see you in the morning, okay? Because I'm going to need you to gather everybody together. We got to go ahead and fight this whole crew that's over here trying to be unruly and things of that nature. So the Midianites, all right? Bye. So let's go. Go back. I'll go back. I know. I'll go back. Okay. Chapter 20, Judges. Chapter 6, verses 20, Judges. The angel of God said to him, take the meat and the unleavened bread and lay them on this rock and pour out the broth, and he did so. Then the angel of the Lord put out the end of the staff that was in his hand and touched the meat and the unleavened bread. And fire rose out of the rock and consumed the meat and the unleavened bread. And the angel of the Lord departed out of his sight. So alas, now we're going to go down. Alas, O Lord God, for I have seen the angel of the Lord face to face. Oh, now, so Gideon want to believe now, okay? Then the Lord said to him, peace be with you. Do not fear. You shall not die. Because, you can't be seeing Jesus and think you're not in heaven. Like, oh, Lord, if I'm seeing Jesus, I must be in heaven. He says, chill out, shouty. Chill out, shout. Hey, all right? At last, O Lord, for I have seen the angel face to face. Then the Lord said to him, peace be with you, brother. Do not fear. You shall not die. So Gideon built up an altar and there to the Lord and called it the Lord is peace. To this day, it is still an Ophrah of the Abiezrites. Again, I apologize for mispronouncing these names. All right. So once Gideon realized he ain't dead, once he realized Jesus is Jesus, and that's what's happening, and he want him to go ahead and fight, even though he don't have the greatest of the crew members, and he ain't really fondest in his father's eyes, he still said, all right, I'll go ahead and do that. So that's where we at now. So Jesus is basically said, I done showed you what you wanted me to show you. Now do what I need you to do. And that's what we asking right now. Like, how many times has Jesus showed up for you? And you still sitting over here contemplating if you want to do right or wrong. How many times the blinders have been taken off of your eyes? You still want to refrain from removing yourself from something that's no good for you. So boom, that's cool. That's cool. I told everybody got a little bit of Gideon in them. So let's see what we gonna do though. Because at the end of the day, we gotta rise to the occasion. Sweet baby Jesus, he's sitting over here relying on us, which he ain't really. He just making it seem like that, giving us the benefit of the doubt, making it seem like he really need us to do something when he could do it all by his lonesome. But he wants us to take part in this, take part in being joyous, take part in feeling like a victor and not a victim. Take part in that, okay? So that's what he wants you to do, young bucks. So here we go. We're going to go down to chapter 6, verse 36. So Gideon said to God, if you will save Israel by my hand, as you have said, look, I shall put a fleece of wool on the threshing floor. Because he still didn't believe it. Still, after he gave the offering and he showed him how, hey, I can make this rock produce fire and eat your whole little offering up. So he said basically, look, God, I understand you, Jesus, and all that, but I need you to go ahead and show me again. So he said, if you will save Israel by my hand, as you have said, look, I shall put a fleece of wool on the threshing floor, If there is dew on the fleece only, and it is dry on all ground, then I shall know that you shall save Israel by my hand, as you have said. See, I told you he still wasn't trying to believe him. Even after he showed him, he showed him. So he still didn't believe him, but that's all right. We do that time to time. Like I said, we are human out here. We got, oh. All right. I see you. Okay. Anywho, we can't get distracted. Let's stay on course. Let's go down to verse 38. When he rose early the next morning and squeezed the fleece together, he wrung the dew out on the fleece in a bowl full of water. Okay. So, fleece. I'm going to assume, I'll take my shirt for instance. That's my fleece, right? Bop. He woke up. He said, if I sit over here and I bring this out right now, it should be nothing but a water coming from this dry thing, right? If you so happen to be who you say you are and you want me to do something for you, let me see it. All right. So boom. So if there is dew on the fleece only and it is dry on the ground, then I shall know. That's what he said. So the next morning when he rose, he wrung the dew out on the fleece in a bowl full of water, is what had happened when he squeezed everything together. Then Gideon said to God, do not be angry with me, but let me speak just once more. See, again, we do that. Yep. He showed you, he did exactly what you asked him to do. And yet you still like, hey, don't be mad at me. Let me just get one more thing up out of you real quick though. Let me get one more thing up out of you before I let you go, because I believe you, but I'm 90% there. I ain't 100%. So I need you to show out for me just one more time for me. For I believe, okay? Just do it for me again. You say you who you say you is. Don't get mad at me though. Don't get mad at me. All right? Because you the one who came to me at the end of the day. But all right, so here we go, right? When he rose early the next morning and squeezed the fleece together, he wrung the dew out of the fleece, a bowl full of water. Then Gideon said to God, do not be angry with me, but let me speak just once more. Let me test, I pray, just once more. Okay, just once more, you say, when we know and God know. Oh, no, once you show out for me this time, I'm going to need you to continue to show out for me. At least that's where I'm at with it. I don't know where you at with it, but let's see. Let's keep tapping in. So, boom. Just show out for me just once more. Let me make sure I'm not. All right. Let me test. I pray just once more with the fleece. Okay, so we back to the fleece. All right. Let it now be dry only on the fleece. Let it only be dry now on the fleece. Okay. But on all of the ground, let there be dew. So let this shit be, oh Lord, forgiveth my mouth. Let this be dry, but let there be a whole dew of water all around me, okay, on the ground. And God said, all right. You ain't asking nothing too big of me. Like, okay. Let it now be dry only on the fleece, but on all the ground let there be dew. And God did so that night. It was dry on the fleece only, but there was dew all on the ground. Like I said, God, like, okay, you're not asking anything of me that I cannot do. So do not limit me just because you're putting limits on yourself. I want us to grow together. Unlimit yourself just like God is limitless. Do not sit over here and think that he is in any way, shape, or form in your little box that you're keeping him in. Absolutely not. Okay. But yet, here we are again, him showing out. And yet Gideon like, all right. So here we go. Gideon's Valiant 300. We are in chapter 7 now. Then Jerubbaal, that is Gideon, Jerubbaal, don't get mad at me, okay? I done already professed I am not going to pronounce these correctly, okay? Then Jerubbaal, that is Gideon, and all the people who were with him rose early and encamped beside the well of Harod, so that the camp of the Midianites was on the north side of them by the hill of Morah in the valley. All right. So we on one side, they on another side, basically. That's what I got from it. Okay. And guess what? I'm not geographically savvy, so therefore don't get mad at me. You interpret how you interpret, because you should have your textbooks and you should be writing down how you are getting the message that's delivered upon you from what I'm speaking. So let's get back into it. So let's go down to verse 2, chapter 7, Judges. And the Lord said to Gideon, the people who are with you are too many, and there's just too many for me to give the Midianites into their hands. Like, everybody can't go. That's basically what he said, and y'all done heard it before. Everybody cannot go with you. I'm sorry. I know these your down day one since you was born. I know, you've been rocking together since 4 flats on a Cadillac, all of that. I get it. However, it's just too many for me to be like, yes, you can also take and relish in the victory that is to come upon you. So boom. So it's just simply too many for me to give the Midianites into their hands. So now let's go down to verse 3 in chapter 7. Now therefore proclaim in the hearing of the people, saying, whoever is fearful and afraid, this is Gideon, okay? This is basically how he gonna tell if you gonna be with me or not. Now therefore proclaim in the hearing of the people, saying, whoever is fearful and afraid, let him turn and depart at once from Mount Gilead. And 22,000 of the people returned, and 10,000 remained. So we started out with what? 32,000 people. 22 of them said, nah, dog. Yeah, this seemed a little bit too hard for me. It's a little too challenging for me. So that's why God said what he said. Now, you can't be giving this to everybody. Everybody cannot go. Everybody cannot sit at this round table. All right. This is for those who are fearless. This is for those who are unafraid to step out on faith and walk on it. Okay. Not by sight, baby. All right. So boom, let's keep it going. But the Lord still said to Gideon, the people are too many. It's just still too many. Even after 22,000 departed from the 32,000, which left you with now 10,000, it's still too many. So boom, I'm going to need you to reduce that just a little bit more. Boom. So here we are. But the Lord said to Gideon, the people are still too many. Bring them down to the water, and I will test them for you there. So you know what I'm saying? I appreciate the work that you putting in, Gideon, but I got it. Let me go ahead and handle this for you. So boom. So then it will be that for whom I say to you, this one shall go with you, this one shall go with you. And for whomever I say to you, this one shall not go with you, then this one shall not go with you. Listen to the man. I think he know what he's talking about, So here we go. He gonna test these people. So he go down to the water. Everybody go down to the water. Here we go. We get down to the water. Matter of fact, I'm gonna sip me on some water. Okay, sip y'all on some water. It's cool, class. I'm gonna appreciate y'all as adults. Y'all not gonna be spilling stuff, and if you do, it'll be on your own selves. Okay, we ain't children around here. Okay. Boom. So we go down to the water. And the Lord, this is verse 5, chapter 7. So the Lord brought the people to the water, told Gideon, everyone who laps from the water with their tongue, as dogs laps, you shall set apart from himself. Likewise, everyone who gets down on their knees to drink. And the number of those who lapped, putting their hand to their mouths, was 300 men. 300 men by their mouths took the water, put it to their mouths. So 10,000, only 300 of them lapped water to their mouth like a dog would, okay? So, and the number of those who lapped, putting their hands to their mouth, was 300 men. But all the rest of the people got down on their knees to drink the water. So you know what? Them people who got down on their knees to drink the water, let's just see. I don't know. Let me see. Then the Lord said to Gideon, by the 300 men who lapped, I will save you and deliver the Midianites into your hand. Let all the other people go. every man to his place. So bye. Check up the deuces. So let me just do my math real brief, like, all right. The Lord said that was way too many people, right? So, you know what I'm saying? We started off with 32,000 people. 32,000 people we started off with. He said that's too many people for me to just say, here y'all go. Matter of fact, Gideon, this is what you get out there and you say, all y'all who are afraid, are in fear, y'all could go home. So guess what? Out of that 32,000, let me, but you know, that's the devil trying to interrupt. Boom, right? We saw by 32,000 out of that. After Gideon made the announcement of, hey, y'all who don't want to be here, y'all feel y'all like this too much in fear, I need y'all to go home. That went down from 32,000 minus 22,000 people. 22,000 people said, nah, Gideon, this might be too much for us, which we appreciate. Like, check up the deuces. I definitely don't want to give to somebody who is not needed or in receptive mode of what's about to be given to them. So boom, now we down to 10,000 people. Bye. 10,000 people. Out of that 10,000 people, God still said that's too many. That's still too many for me to want to give the honor of saying we are victors over the Midianites. So bye. So he said, I'm going to do you a favor. I'm going to handle it. You take these people to the water. And out of these 10,000, the ones that I say can come, can come. The ones that can't come, can't come. And you got to respect that. He said, all right, God, for sure. I got you. So let's go down there. So what the test was, all those who sat over there and got to that water and decided to lap water from their hands like a little doggy, bop, 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 y'all could come. All the rest of y'all who decided to get down on y'all knees and go ahead and scrounge like little, I don't even want to give y'all no name. That's okay, because we appreciate y'all too. Hats off. I definitely don't want to give honor and glory to those who ain't deserving. So boom. So out of that 10,000, that went down to bop only. Bop, bop, bop. Bop, 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 bop. 9,700 people that said God was like, nah, they can't come. So with that being said, only your 300 that's left plus you is going to get that honor to say that y'all defeated the Midianites by the grace of my hand. One hand. All right, boom, right? 300. That's what we're working with. Let's get back into it, class. Bop. So by the 300 men who lapped, I will save you and deliver the Midianites into your hand. Let all the other people go, every man to his place. So like I said, God was like, bye, y'all. All 9,700 of y'all, bye. Gideon, go ahead and let them know. Let's go ahead over here to verse 13, chapter 7. And when Gideon had come, there was a man telling a dream to him, to his companion. Basically, so here we are, us in our 300. There was Gideon. And when Gideon had come, there was a man telling a dream to his companion. He had said in this dream, I haven't had a dream to my surprise. I don't know why I just did that. Sorry. I apologize. I'm not about to do that. I just figured when you telling a story, you should do it in different voices so that you understand that these are different characters that are speaking. And I was trying to get into one, but I'm not about to do that with y'all. Y'all don't get to get that right now. Okay. I apologize for even about to start. All right. All right. So boom. Let me just get to it. So go to chapter 7, verse 13. Gideon comes to this man who's telling a dream to his companion. Basically, the dream is everything God basically had to say. So you can read that on your own time. I'm going to want you to come down here to verse 17. And he said to him, after hearing the dream, Gideon go back to his people and he look at them and do like me. Do what I do. Watch and do as I do. Look at me and do likewise. Watch, and when I come to the edge of the camp, you shall do as I do. When I blow the trumpet, I and all who are with me, then you also blow the trumpets on every side of the whole camp, and say, the sword of the Lord and of Gideon. the sword of the Lord and Gideon. So you blow your trumpets on each side. When I do it, you do it. When I move, you move. Just like that. When I move, you move. Just like that. When I move, you move. Just like that. All right. So basically, here we go. So that's why when I said everybody can go, you got to go with people who are more aligned with you, who are on your same vibe and frequency. You can't be just giving this just out to everybody. Like this is a victory that's about to happen. I got the word of God. I got Jesus who's on my side, and I just got a dream to confirm everything. All right, so let me galley up all my little soldiers. Let's do this. So I'm gonna tell y'all like I'm gonna tell y'all. When I move, y'all move. When I blow my trumpet, everybody with me, blow your trumpet. When you on that side seeing us blowing our trumpet, I need y'all on that side to blow y'all trumpet. We're going to get this all together. And as one, as a unit, we're going to say, what? The sword of the Lord and of Gideon. All right? So boom, boom, boom. That's what we did. Let's get down to chapter 8, verse 4. When Gideon came to the Jordan, and he and the 300 men who were with him crossed over, exhausted but still in pursuit, then he said to the men of Sukkoth, please give loaves of bread to the people who follow me, for they are exhausted, and I am pursuing Zebah and Zalmunna, kings of Midian. And you know what they did, you know what I'm saying? Y'all coming into somebody's area and y'all asking somebody to be nice to you. You come into somebody's neighborhood and you wanting them to be neighborly to you, and you thinking that they gonna be receptive of you after you told them your story. You know, everybody got a story to tell, and that's what they did, right? You know, that's what Gideon did. He like, y'all could give them a little something. They tired, and we over here in pursuit of taking down a couple of folks, you know what I'm saying, that's doing us dirty out here, right? Boom. And the leaders of Sukkoth said, are the hands of Zebah and Zalmunna now in your hand? And we should give bread to your army? Basically, where the proof for the pudding at? You want us to give you something, and where's their heads at? You don't got their heads, but you want something from it, so guess what? So Gideon said, all right, check this out. Check this out, because I know what I'm about to come into. All right, so because you did that, for this cause, when the Lord has delivered Zebah and Zalmunna into my hand, then I will tear your flesh with the thorns of the wilderness and with the briars. Then he went up from there to Penuel and spoke to them in the same way. And the men of Penuel answered him as the men of Sukkoth answered. And you know what he said to the men of Penuel? The same as he said to the men of Sukkoth. All right? When I come back in peace, I will tear down this tower. Basically, he's saying, I'm going to tear this mother sucker down when I get back. Because y'all ain't going to sit over here and treat my people like we beneath y'all, and we out here trying to do something that the Lord has put upon us. You ain't going to sit over here and act like that towards me. Don't worry, baby. Don't worry about it. I say no more, say less. Say no more, say less. All right. Let's go down here, class, to verse 15 in chapter 8. Then he came to the men of Sukkoth, because basically on your own time, read in the middle, he already did what he said he was going to do, because he already knew what was to be true, that he was going to conquer the heads of Zebah and Zalmunna. So boom, let's get down to chapter 15. Verse 15. Then he came to the men of Sukkoth and said, here are Zebah and Zalmunna, by whom you ridiculed me, saying, are the hands of Zebah and Zalmunna now in your hand? Now we should give bread to your weary men. That's what you said, right? And you mocked him. You laughed at him. You made it seem like he couldn't do what he said he was going to do. He came to you with an open heart. He didn't come to you begging. He just came to you asking, like, hey, while we doing this, say a little thirsty, can you hook him up real quick? You laughed at him, right? All right. And that's what you're going to come across. You're going to come across people who ain't going to believe in you. You're going to come across people who going to sit over here and laugh at you and think that your ideas might be too small. That's too small for their little bitty brains to comprehend. Don't worry about that. That's okay. You and you alone, if that be your only army, you got this, because with Jesus on your side and the Lord up in you, and you gonna move with the Holy Spirit that delivered the message, you gonna get it done, whatever it so be. Whatever it so be. So don't worry about it. And then what you gonna do, you gonna double back around and you gonna sit over here and say to these people who had doubts about you, these naysayers, these dream snatchers who had things to say, you gonna let them know, what was that you had said? And what it is that I had said I was going to do when I came back. So let's just finish up real quick. I don't want to get too much in it. I want you to take some time out for yourselves to reread it, gather your own interpretations, as you should be writing things down in your journal in T ways. I'm not going to come around and check your notes. I want to trust and believe that we got this type of energy and this type of dynamic with us. Anywho, so here we are. Go back to chapter 8, verse 15. So he came to the men of Sukkoth and said, Here are Zabal and Zalmunna, about whom you ridiculed me, saying, Are the hands of Zabal and Zalmunna now in your hand, that we should give bread to your weary men? And so guess what he did? He tore down the tower of Peniel and killed the men in the city. He wasn't playing. Don't be playing about me. Hey, don't play about him. When he in you, he in you. We're going to go ahead and get chapter 8, verse 22. Then the men of Israel said to Gideon, Rule over us, both you and your son and your grandson also, for you have delivered us from the hand of Midian. But Gideon said to them, I will not rule over you, nor shall my son rule over you. The Lord shall rule over you. And that's what y'all got to get into it. All right. It ain't up to nobody else to rule over you, to make the decisions in your life for you, to make sure that this got done, that got done. Ain't nobody else that's going to rule over you. Not me, not my child, not my child's child, not the next person's child's child. You know whose child it is the child of the Lord, and not the one, the Lord, Jesus. All right. The only one. The Lord shall rule over you. All right. And in the meantime, in between time, that's when you're going to take this and you're going to read it on your own time. But before I leave you, I want to get into verse 27. Then Gideon made it into an impod and set it up in his city, Ophrah. And all Israel played the harlot with it there. It becomes a snare to Gideon and to his house. Thus Midian was subdued before the children of Israel, so that they lifted their heads no more. And the country was quiet for 40 years in the days of Gideon. So the Midians couldn't even lift up their damn heads. You couldn't even be proud to say, I'm a Midian at that time, because you were defeated. And I'll go back to it. Then Gideon made it into Hapod and set it up in his city Ophrah. And all Israel played the harlot with it there. It became a snare to Gideon and to his house. Thus Midian was subdued before the children of Israel, so that they lifted their heads no more. And the country was quiet for 40 years in the days of Gideon. So did he not do what he said he was going? Y'all spirits. That again, he do. He like to show out like that. Let's get into the rest of the session. So we talked about Gideon, the stories of Gideon, right? God's great gathered into this one right here. All right, because he showed out for me personally. An example, I lost 2 iPhones to a little birthday gathering, not a little birthday gathering, it was a kid's birthday gathering. So imagine being at Chuck E. Cheese and I got 2 iPhones, both of them are locked. However, let me just wrap it up. I was on a game, left both phones at the game, walked off, never looked behind me. It wasn't until a minute later I was like, Dad, where's my phone at? I want to take a picture. And that's when it dawned on me I didn't have them. So I went back to the game I was at. It was not at that game. Then I went and asked security. Security was like, nobody has turned anything in, but I'll check. So I still have my little team of people looking around there calling just to see if it goes off. And mind you, like I said, the phones are locked, but still, you know what I'm saying? In my mind, I'm like, that's my bad. I should have been more in tune of my items. And on top of it, I can't blame anybody else. It doesn't matter if I was distracted by X, Y, and Z. Those are my personal property. So it was for me to make sure that I kept it in my possession. So I can't blame somebody else, and I can't get mad. We're still here at a kid's birthday party. So, at this point, I'm like, let me continue to enjoy myself and just chuck it up as it is what it is. You can't get in my phone anyway because it's locked. So bye. Now, as I'm going around enjoying myself, playing games and stuff like that, and I asked another coworker if they had seen it. He was like, no. I saw a picture that was also with my phones that I took inside the little Chuck E. Cheese booth or whatever. And so it was face down. I just so happened to flip it up and it was my picture. So I was like, okay. So obviously somebody took off with my phone. So it's all good. It's whatever. I got insurance on my phone. I'll just pay the insurance and get my new phones. And I'll be more likely to keep it with me and not be as careless, even though for the majority of the part I had it with me. But no excuses. The phone was still in my care and I had let them out of my possession. And so whatever happens is up for the universe to decide, right? Boom. When you are a good person and you do good, you have good thoughts, even when you're going through stuff like no longer having your phones. That to me, it wasn't no big deal, but the only thing that was in here was like my notes for my class. But when it's in you, it's in you. So it's not really anything. It was just something for me to go back to. So it was nothing, not even pictures. All that stuff is saved, backed up. So whatever. But lo and behold, my phones were returned back to me by the security guard. He came with both of them in his hands. He returned them to me. I was more concerned about one of my pictures that I had took in a Chuck E. Cheese booth. But he was like, no, that one wasn't recovered or whatever. But I was like, it's cool. So look, God showed out. He showed his greatness, because in any other situation, regardless if my phones were locked or not, somebody could have tapped into it or something if they wanted to. Somebody could have got off on it if they wanted to or whatever. But God said no. The universe said no. You've been doing good, so I'm going to have some good come back to you. And I want you to testify about this one day. Not knowing what day that was going to be. It just so happened to be this day, because there's more to it. So boom. Now, that happened for me in my personal, right? Now, I know somebody else, actually 2 people, with this next one. Stolen vehicles. All right? True story. Now, what happened was, my mom, matter of fact, she came to my apartment complex, and before she came to my apartment complex, it was in my spirit. I felt it on me earlier in that day. She came about 1:45 p.m., about 45 minutes from now, because I'm on Pacific Standard Time, right? So anyway, she came to my house, but before she came to my house, I was just like, I am going to tell you exactly what I said. So I want to be as transparent as I can be. So this was on April 23rd. All right. I said, this cannot be off for me. The living area, the bugs, the not obeying, the not listening, the not taking initiative, the lack. I do not want to continue living in this nasty area with bad energy. For me, energy is important. And if all I'm seeing is adults allowing their kids to just treat property any type of way, that lets me know how you live in your household. So you allow your kids to just treat your household any kind of way, throw trash. And I don't like that. Listen, cleanliness is close to godliness. So I don't like to live in a lot of mess, and I don't like messy people who like drama and all that other outside business. All right. So let me speed this up real quick. So I said, I don't want to continue living in this nasty area with bad energy. I do my best to have an upbeat, optimistic, positive attitude, treat myself and others with respect, greet those I come into contact with, giving where is wanted and needed. I get there are lessons to be learned. I ask to help me meet this head on with success so that I can be out of this mess. What do I have to do? That is what I asked on April 23rd. Boom, right? My mom, she comes over. She came to pick up my girls for a birthday party. Next thing you know, she was in my house for 5 minutes. Her car was stolen out the parking lot. And I had just wrote about how I wanted to get up out of this mess. Not because prior to this is what was going on. Not because of anything other than it was an energy that I was feeling and I couldn't place my finger on it. I couldn't call it, but I just felt something was like, nah. And I need to be removed from here. Listen, like I said, lessons are to be learned. So boom, let's get into this one. So she come back to my door and she's like, well, it looked like I'm not going anywhere because my car was stolen. I just couldn't believe it because it happened in my apartment complex. So I'm feeling partially responsible because I'm like, what the fuck? Like, y'all some poor ass people. It ain't broke. You poor as fuck. You poor as shit to sit over here and this little poor lady just gone in here for 5 minutes. You know how some people exaggerate, like, nah, maybe you was in there longer? Nah, literally she was in there for probably even less than 5 minutes. Had time to get some ice in her cup to pour her soda over it because my girls was already ready. She called in advance to say she was on her way. So it wasn't like anybody was on delay. They was out that door, come back 2 seconds later to say her car had been stolen. I'm just like, what? And of course, inside of her car, her purse, her belongings, because she had no intention of her car being stolen or staying longer than she needed to because she was going to be in and out, like really in and out. So anyway, so we going around to the police stations, which where I live, even on the weekends, the police stations is closed. It's beyond fucking me. How are you closed on the weekend? So what you mean crime don't happen on the weekend? And then, you know, some people be like, well, maybe those are substations. No, police stations. I had to go to the headquarter police station. So after going to 2 police stations, finally made it to the third one, which is the headquarters. Headquarters, they sitting over here talking about something. Well, it's going to be a 3-hour wait. No problem. I'll wait the 3 hours, just not here. I'm going peace out. Now, I arrived back there exactly on the dot, not 1 minute after the fact. Exactly 5 o'clock on the dot, just for that bitch to lock the door and not open up. Not even with like, hey, yo, I'm out here, boo boo. None of that shit, right? 5 o'clock on the dot, that's when it closed. So you could commit crime after 5 o'clock and on the weekends, apparently, because they gonna be closed, the station, but they patrolling. You patrolling, but your stations is closed. I'm not understanding. All right, but whatever. So wind up calling one of those non-emergency numbers to see if we could have a report filed. She says that an officer is going to come out. Now, wait in the parking lot for the officer to come out. No. So here we go with our patience. We got to learn patience. I'm telling you, there's lessons in this, okay? So patiently waiting to file a police report, but when we called them at now 5 o'clock, this occurred at 1:45. Took us an hour to find an open police station at 2:45. 2:45 tell us it's going to be a 3-hour wait for us to arrive back. 3 hours for them to close the door and not even open up. So now we on the phone at 5 o'clock with police asking them to send somebody. They going to agree to send somebody. Boom, so they can file a police report. That was at 5 o'clock. Why a motherfucker don't show up till 1 a.m.? So, of course, I took my ass in the house after waiting for 5 hours outside in my car, though. But still, it was like, okay, you're inconveniencing me because you shouldn't take this long. Like, boom, right? Mind you, in the meantime, before I went in my house, I did see a patrol car come through and I had stopped them. They talking about some, well, we have other calls in this area. Just wait on your call to be responded to. So I said, but I'm going to go in the house. I lay down not knowing 1 o'clock a.m. there'll be a knock, knock, ring a ding, ding at the door from the po-po. Someone to take take a police report. So boom. So took the police report. And that was on Saturday. Well, actually Sunday morning when they took the police report. So the car was stolen on Saturday. Took the police report Sunday morning. Fast forward now. The phone that was stolen, it had insurance on it, so paid the deductible, got that phone back because we did track it. But because you cannot pinpoint exactly the apartment number, it wasn't there was nothing the police could do. And yeah, show did go up there though. Show did. Anywho, but whatever. Anywho. And this is what I say. When y'all think y'all committing a crime, please don't do it and think technology is not going to be up to date. Like I say, just because you don't think that I have a camera don't mean the neighbor's neighbor don't have a camera who catches everything. So yeah, one of the good neighbors put me up on game like, hey, check with the homie. The homie got cameras. The homie will help you out. Let them know what time it happened at. So boom. So while we was waiting to do our part, like I say, if I can't give monetarily, I am able to give in other ways. So how you give is very important as well. So giving your time, your effort, your energy, that's important when you're trying to do a good deed. It's not always about the money. So don't let people believe they need money. Like, no, you don't need no money. You might need something, but you might not need money. And if you need money, you're not going to get it from me because that's not what I'm offering. I'm offering something else, something that's going to be a little bit more tangible for you to receive and got with. All right, so boom. Now, that happened, like I said, Saturday afternoon. Sunday morning is when the police show up and want to take the report. 2 days later, come Tuesday, the car was recovered by the po-pos. Well, it wasn't by the po-pos. It was like by a third party company who does patrolling, and now they have this system that's able to identify stolen license plates or if your car is up for repo. And this is what I know for sure, because once upon a time when I didn't know better, now I know better. When you know better, you do better, right? So once upon a time I used to go get cars off the lot and pay car notes. No, I decided I'm gonna buy my shit outright. Once that repo happened, I was like, well, nobody be sitting over here repossessing shit from me. The fuck? Hey, we fall on hard times. Shit happens. And it was never my intention for me to lapse. But you can't just be taking shit because I got other things to do. So boom. So I got that message. Start owning your shit. You know what I'm saying? So bought my own shit outright. Won't be no repo, nothing. But I wanted to know, like, at that time, this is separate. So at the time that the repo happened for me, I had inquired. I have no problem with speaking. Hey, how did y'all come across getting my car? Because, he told me, oh, yeah, we have this system that goes by, and if your car is up for repo, we'll notify the people, and they'll let us know if they want us to get it, because we actually came here the night before, and by all that front end damage, we just wanted to check with them. They said they still wanted it, so here we are today. I said, oh, okay. So, Queen was caught slipping, but there was a lesson that was taught to me in that, and the lesson was, okay, so you can't just be, thinking you're getting away with stuff because now you think you outrunning your repo people. No, any tow truck company has this set up. So if you're in an apartment complex and they patrolling, security can patrol and they come up on their thing when they, whatever. That ain't for me to teach y'all about, just telling y'all. Okay. So fast forward now into this incident right here. That's what happened. Third party was doing some patrolling, and my mom's license plate number came up on their system and stolen. They notified the police. So sure enough, here we are. We dashing a digit. Here we go. Go to the thing, and car is in mint condition, the same condition it was in. And that don't happen all the time. A, you don't always get your car back. B, you don't get it back and everything is intact. The police officer, because I had a spare key, unlocked the car. He popped the hood, checked under the hood, everything was there. The only thing that wasn't there was the car seat. Baby, I don't give a damn about no car seat. A car seat is replaceable, honey. I mean, everything is generally replaceable, you know what I'm saying? But the fact that you got to recoup everything and you didn't have to come, listen, when they say that the devil is out to kill, steal, and destroy, but guess what my God gonna do? He gonna make sure that you don't lose time, you don't lose money, you don't lose a motherfucking thing. And that's exactly what it was. Wasn't no time loss, wasn't no money loss, wasn't nothing lost. And that's where you got to come in to thank God for his greatness. Because again, things don't just happen like that. I done recovered not one, but two iPhones. My mama done recovered her stolen vehicle, and that didn't just happen with one person. My homegirl's baby daddy, same thing happened to him. People out here doing devilish work. But when you serving the good God up above, he gonna make sure that his kids prosper. Same thing. Homeboy got his car stolen. 2 days later, it was found in the desert, unscathed. Nothing wrong with it. Still in its condition. That just listen. Thieves are slow, dumb, and all of that. However, the fact of the matter is, then nobody have to come up out of pocket for nothing additional. And you just gotta be. I tell my mama, why you not on your knees? You better be thanking the Lord up above. That phone, you got it the same day that car got recovered. I promise you. I was over here talking to the spirit, and I was over here like, I told God already, when that happened, you gonna have to show me this one. I put the vengeance of the Lord in his. Listen, when the vengeance of the Lord is seeing over everything you got going on, I don't do nothing. I'm not about to sit over here and wish harm upon nobody. I put that in the Lord's hands. He gonna have to show that to me though, because I did ask that. I did ask God to show me. You gonna have to show me, because I felt bad, like I said, because it happened in my apartment complex. But let me let you know, like I said, nothing previously like this had occurred. Even when the incident happened, there was nothing out of the ordinary. There was no disturbance. There was nobody else outside. There wasn't nobody else like, oh my God, my shit got broken into or my shit was stolen. It was a nice, sunny, clear day. And mind you, the police station is right next door, which that officer who came at 1 a.m. informed me, people don't care. But I know why they don't care, because y'all asses ain't even open on the weekends. How in the hell? Anywho, fools out here just committing crime after 5 p.m. on the weekends because the popos ain't around. They stations is closed, but they'll lock you up for some domestic violence type shit. They'll lock you up for some shit like that. But when it comes to doing some, hey, can you be open so I can give you a police report about a stolen vehicle? Oh, they ain't nowhere to be found. That clerical type shit, oh no, but they want to be at Dunkin' Donuts eating and shit. Never mind. Anywho, ooh, yeah. So, anywho, I did give them their props for doing their job that day or whatever. You know what I'm saying? My mother was able to recoup her vehicle, like I said, and nothing was wrong with it. I'm sorry if there was some family that needed to go up the street, because people do this all the time. They shit where they sleep at. It was up the street from my house, and it was just like on a road that was clear as day as well, which I had declared. You cannot win when you playing with the Lord and his spirit and his children. You can't win. He don't play about me. He don't play about my friends, my family, and anything that I put my hands upon. So therefore, you can't be sitting over here thinking you about to do anything and he ain't gonna get to that. Nah, especially if it's on my behalf, if I'm asking. Hello. Thank you, Lord. I know you love me, Lord. So anywho, so that was just a testament on how great he is. Now, when it comes to advice, I had to sit back and really, okay, before we get to the advice, let's get to the lesson that was learned and all of that. Because for me, even though that didn't directly happen and affect me, the message though directly affected me indirect. You know what I'm saying? Like, basically, look, you got to be more careful of your surroundings and be more alert, and keep on guard even when you are doing the same things that you might do. Just keep and be aware that maybe there ain't everybody nice out here. Literally, my mother was in here for 5 minutes and out, and her car was stolen. Now, I also was in the meantime, in between time, thinking like this as I'm giving it over to the Lord and telling him to show it out for me. I was like thinking, what if this was, now come with me, spirit. My mama was like, so you telling me spirit moved my car? Yes, because you was not paying attention, because you did not pay attention, period. You have to understand, you have I get it, your belongings in the car, but you better make sure that alarm is clinking when you walk out. I want to hear that thing. It better go off like an alarm. Blurb, I don't care who it disturbs. I want to make sure that my property is being protected if I have an alarm system that's supposed to do that or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And maybe you're going 1,000,000 miles per hour and you thought you did and you really didn't. I don't know. Maybe you left an extra key in the car, which you should not do, because your car can still pick it up even if one time it didn't. It might have been just that one time. Do not do that, because you are giving, you just not, no. And not that you're giving an opportunity for people to commit a crime, because at the end of the day, the crime was still committed, and at the end of the day, they're still going to get caught for it. There's nothing you can say or do about that. Like, I might not get you right down here, but you going to get got. Don't worry about it. So what I am saying is just like pay attention to your surroundings and your things, and just slow down. Slow down. Just slow down. Slow down. Like, for real. And guess what? I said it. I said, maybe that's what happened. Spirit moved your car and moved it just for a minute. I said, maybe it was just like a prank. Maybe hee ha ha, like, you was caught slipping, but now we gonna gather you. Hopefully you learned a lesson to make sure next time that we're more alert. Boom. Because your car was recovered, nothing harm. The insides was still there, nothing with the ignition, the steering wheel underneath the hood, nothing, tires still on there, all of that. So give it up, give it up, give it up, because it don't always work out like that for people. But we are progressing, we are evolving in technology as a people, as a whole. Unity is what we got to come together and get, because guess what? Without unity, we ain't gonna really get nowhere. Because if my neighbor didn't have let me know that, hey, there's some neighbors that got cameras, let them know what time, we wouldn't have that extra bit of tidbit knowledge right there. And if we just sat over here and was working off of a woe is me, why is this happening to me type of energy, you're not gonna get anywhere. Listen, you do all that you can do, and you let that go and let God work out the rest for you. All right? Don't sit over here and keep on beating yourself up about what you coulda, shoulda, woulda did, or why, or is this happening? You're such a good, great person, blah, blah, blah. Stuff can still happen. Life still happens. But what you do with your time with it is what matters. Give it over to God. Let him know, like, look, I filed a police report. I done paid the deductible for my insurance to get my phone, and I am not losing anything. I let my employer know, hey, my car was stolen. I'm not going to be able to come in. They understood. And at the end of the day, my son got a spare key to my house, so I could go get that made duplicate, or I could go get new keys made altogether by a locksmith. There is a will, there is a way. So don't sit over here and wrap yourself up with all this other bad energy that's going to get you stuck in defeat, and then shit don't be happening for you. So yes, when this happened for her, I was definitely like, girl, why you not on your knees? Shout. And then to get confirmation from my homegirl, who the same thing happened to her baby daddy, like, yes, y'all better start believing that God is out here working for his children. Stop sitting over here having that Gideon mentality when after you want him to show you time and time again. Nah, you better get into that after the fact that, you know what, God, you God. Let me let you keep on doing what you're doing. You done showed me one too many times that you for sure. So bye. Now, get into the advice portion, because that's what the lesson was learned in that, the advice portion. Advice, you know where I get my advice from? God. I go to the Lord, Spirit, Jesus. Flesh will fail you every time, but Jesus prevails each time, okay? The flesh will fail you every time, but Jesus prevails, all right? That's who I go to for my advice. So when you want to figure out, well, where did you get this from? The wisdom, the discernment, all of it comes from the good God up above. He gets all the glory, okay? Well, where'd you come with the finances? Where'd you come with the man, the relationship, all this? Good God up above gets all the glory. Where did you come up with this business adventure, these business opportunities? How did you come to be so spiritually inclined? The good God up above, everything go to him, everything, okay? When it comes to who I give advice from, who I'm coming to, is going to be God. And we're going to tap back into the surroundings. Listen, who you surround yourself with, what you engage with, even your thoughts matter. All of that matters. Music, social sites, shows, movies, books, people, environment. Align yourself with those who are like-minded, who are loving and positive, so that you can receive the same, because you receive definitely what you put out. So if you putting out anxiety, depression, you're putting out being a bully, you're putting out all these types of negatives, you're going to receive that. So start being more positive. Figure it out. Find out. Everything got something positive in it. Figure it out. Even if it's bad, figure out what positive happened in it. If it's positive that you learned a lesson, if it's positive somebody else learned a lesson, if it's positive that you got a good outcome, you put out what you receive. Listen, less engaging with negativity, more abundance with positivity is the outcome that happens. Stop engaging yourself with negative people, negative thoughts, engaging in back-to-back banter with somebody when you know what you know is correct. There's no need for you to keep going back and forth trying to prove your point. Welcome, 123 angels. We are ascending. Hello. Step by step. We are going up like steps. So yes, look into what the 123 angels have to offer, and you'll know what I'm talking about. But anywho, the higher the hair, the closer to heaven, baby. All right. Cleanliness is close to godliness. Let's wash away yesterday and give to Jesus today. All right. A lot of times we'll sit over here and be so immersed in what's going on negatively that we just need to wash it all away. Go take you a shower, go take you a bath, just sit in some water and wash it away. Ask Jesus to clean you, clean my spirit, clean my heart, clean my surroundings, clean my mind. I need cleanliness because I need to feel like calm, purity, tranquility is happening around me. I don't need all of that extra rah activity. No, babies. I need to seek guidance, spirituality, religion, whatever you want to call it, a higher power, a higher source. I need to seek something because, again, flesh will fail me every time. I've called on my mama, called on my daddy, called on my brother, called on my sister, called on my homegirl, called on my homeboy, called on my dog, called on my cat, called on the mailman, and called on my neighbor. Nobody could help me. Not my cousin, not my baby daddy, not my baby mama, not nobody. Not an acquaintance, not a co-worker, not the banker. Nobody could help me. The only person who could help me was Jesus, and that's who I'm going to rely on for all things all the time. And that's on period, poo. That's what you got to tap into. So that is what we're going to wrap up with. Make sure you put your mind in a positive. Look, I got the light shining. You know why? Because I refuse to allow. And we're gonna tap into this on my podcast. So y'all check out my podcast, Station Head Radio app. Download that. But on my podcast, we're gonna talk about the shadow work, your shadow side. Meaning you gotta be able to tap into that side that you don't necessarily want everybody to know about or see about. And you gotta be honest with that. And once you get honest with that side of you and understand that there is balance between your good and your bad, the light and the dark, then you're going to be able to prevail and you're going to do it with success. But, there's a lot of things that you got to tap into and you got to be honest with yourself. And I'm not going to sugarcoat shit. I don't want to do that. Why? And I don't lie because there's no point when you got to tell a lie on top of a lie, tell another lie on top of another lie, and then you got to keep it going like that. There's no point in doing all that. Listen, if a person can't accept your trust and your honesty, then they can't. That's on them. I'm not here to convince you. I know what it is already. I know who's in me. I know who I belong to, and I know who's delivering the messages to me. And I'm only being a bigger blessing because the blessing was bestowed upon me. And that's what I'm doing. I'm walking confidently in this. Ain't nothing wrong with walking confidently in what you know is put in your heart. When you do that, you will be attracting that. More confident people, more people believing in what you got going on for you, whatever it so happens to be. I don't know what's out there for you, but I know what's for me. And what's for me is going to be for me. And you can't take that away from me, boo. You can't. You just cannot. You tried, but all I'm gonna sit over here and do is say, God, go ahead and handle that for me. I'm gonna need you to go ahead and handle that. I'm not gonna get up off my throne. I'm not gonna sit over here and bow down to no peasant who want me to get that energy to them. You wanted me to be all distraught, worried, and all confused as to why this is happening? No. Before I let y'all go, yeah, this is resonating so much. God, you get all the glory. No time, money, sanity lost. Lessons learned. No losses taken. I prayed, trusted, things are working out in alignment. God, I ask, and you are doing your best to make sure I receive. It's one thing, then it's another. But lessons are learned. No losses are taken. And I truly believe that. I believe that. Like, listen, everything is a lesson, but there is no losses. It's only a lesson to be learned. Whether it be good or bad, it's still a lesson to be learned. Lastly, I am definitely expect. Listen, I gotta speak it out to y'all so the universe can understand I'm not playing. All right, I want you to understand that. Hey, I am not afraid or in fear of anybody other than the good Lord up above. So yeah, I'm gonna speak my truth. I'm definitely expecting expansion in my podcast, in my businesses, in my YouTube channel, in my books, and everything that I put my hands on. I received the big changes coming my way. I received that mansion. I received the dream home with the poolside canopy for me and my booski. I do envision my soulmate coming into me. Like, I really feel like we be speaking to each other through music and other ways, because I don't know what he looks like. I don't know his name. I don't know where he's at, but what I do know is that he is praying for me, and he cannot wait for us to come into alignment with each other so we could start our journey in our chapter. I do truly believe that, and the more I believe that, the more he feels that, and he on that same wave, and we gonna get it together. It's all gonna work itself out for sure. I just go ahead and let y'all go. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to another session with the Queen. Y'all go ahead and be kind to yourselves and to other people. It only takes 2 seconds to be kind. All right. In the meantime, in between time till we meet again, y'all be kind to one another and a friend. If you got any, sometimes your friend is yourself, sometimes that friend is Jesus. So go ahead and be kind to Jesus. Go ahead and be kind to yourself. Get your nails done, get your hair did, go bathe yourself, clean it off, go get dressed, step out in the sun, say hi to someone. Okay, whether it be the sun, the sky, the moon, the stars, let it be known that you are here and you are here to stay, and you are going to receive all the blessings that is supposed to be for you. Asking, you shall receive. All right, y'all. Until the next time. Bye.